Hey everyone, welcome back. Jojo here.
Shruti here. How much grief everybody has been giving? What is this request ka silsila in a crazy way? Okay, but here we are.
We're here.
But Jojo, I have a couple of questions. I have few grouse type questions.
I think you should ask them before we begin because they will come anyway.
So सबसे पहले, why are we bothering reacting to it? Normally तो हम discuss करते नहीं हैं.
Yeah.
As a rule, you have said कि just नहीं करेंगे. So in some cases we've also अरे पहले सवाल खत्म होने दो रुको पहले sometimes we've also covered a few disses which are fun or which if like early days may I know you have with Maddie as well and then उसके बाद when I came on board couple of those we discussed as well but usually जब बहुत ज़्यादा गाली गलौज होती है तो हम नहीं करते हैं right so what are the scene this time?
The scene this time is that we've it's been a while since we relaxed. That I think after Mufar Krishna's beef, you and I were like, okay, it's done. We're done for a while now. And then remember, we got convinced in the middle to cover 100 bars, Salanjum. And I was like, you know what? I think this is an aspect of the genre. And if there is a lyrically good, brilliant track that showcases the craft in a good way, then we can probably, bear the galis in it to
power through the galis.
We'll power through, and we did. And then I told people that this is not going to be a regular feature, but if and when I hear of a track that's really good, then why not? We'll consider it for sure. And then this beef started out of nowhere. Like I don't think anyone in the world was expecting it. Forget us. So then I was like, okay, this is my first like live in real time wala beef that's happening. Should I cover it? And then I asked a lot of people about track 1 that dropped, and I was not convinced that I should cover it because I know how I feel about tracks with too much galis in it, bro. So then I said, forget it. And I honestly did not even expect that there'll be a response. I mean, I kind of knew, but then I didn't know when, and I thought it would take its time. And then I was like, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, all of that. And then this Saturday, we all know what happens.
The bridge arrived.
Lover boy arrived in our lives. Which, by
everyone who thought it was Lover Boy, hello Lover Boy. Full itna matlab.
I think y'all should know that I knocked off a song from my list on Friday. I put Lover Boy in, and then Lover Boy did not happen. So then we just did one less reaction on Saturday because on Saturday I was still like everybody else, a little shook by what dropped and kind of just in a dilemma, like should I cover this, should I not, what's this, like what do I do? And then if I cover it, I'll have to cover track that it's replying to. So
absolutely it only makes sense because
so for 2-3 days that dilemma was happening for me. I was like kya kare? And then I said, you know what, let's cover it because whatever I've heard now about track 2 is good stuff. I'm curious, like any fan of the genre. I'm curious because I want to hear lyrically good tracks and replies that are smart or whatever. So we're gonna cover both since we're. But you guys should know that I have heard Emiway's track because I figured I'm not gonna react to it, so I heard it, and Shruti hasn't heard it, so you're gonna see her reaction like first time listening to it. And then I have, before we started recording, I've asked her a question that she has to answer as soon as the track ends. That question will tell you what it is after the track ends, so you know it. है ना?
Yes, I know it.
ठीक है. Any other questions before we begin?
Like what is this song about? Because honestly, I don't think I see myself listening to this song if it wasn't for us reacting to it right now. So right there, I think this culture which is there, in one sense, I can already see the good side of it, the only good side, which is that it lands up, even if you like, if you want to listen to one track, to understand it, you'll have to listen to the other track. And that way, you basically kind of land up listening to all the stuff that's going on in the scene, rather than just sticking to one kind of song. So while otherwise I know I would not have heard the song at all, but already because of just so we understand it, I think it makes sense that we listen to it. So
yeah, it does now. And plus you watched Maddie and my takeover versus makeover wala reaction. So we're doing it in the same format, except this time we're also going to include Rohan's breakdown of Lil Bunty.
Oh yay.
But I just want to say that I got a lot of hate from audiences after that, and that was initially when I didn't know any of these artists and I didn't know anything.
Why did you get hate?
Because and this is first-hand experience, I'm saying it, some audiences are not mature enough for honest reviews. and for honest feedback.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. They only want to hear praise, and that's not what you get on this channel. So if that's who you are, you might as well switch this video off right now, because
disclaimer time.
Just letting you know. And then I stopped covering Emiway songs on the channel, because one, he's doing well. He doesn't need reviews coming from me. And I like, for me, my priority is my peace of mind. I don't need unnecessary hate. So if people cannot understand that some things I don't vibe with or we don't feel, then there's no need to have that on the channel, right? So, but I have heard his music offline whenever I've gotten messages saying, here, this track is good, whatever. Even Raj
have you ever? That's what I was about to ask. Have we ever heard? I think that's the only one that I've heard.
Yeah, so we heard that with Raj, and even then I was like, it's not making me curious enough about him as an artist. So, and my underlying sentiment there was, I've experienced the hate from audiences when I say, I didn't vibe with something. So I'm just, it's okay, it's all good. We'll all live in our happy zones. So anyway, now we're getting into this track, because it's only fair to cover his track before we get to Krishna's track, and we would like it if you understood that we're going to give honest feedback or our honest opinion after it. It's just our opinion. It doesn't change anything for any artist. So with that being said,
मतलब सारे I must say, so इतनी hype create कर दिया ना, that it's almost to the point of like, when songs become like fearful to listen to, and it's almost like, यार इतना drama है तो अपने पास रखो, कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए.
It's so sad. Let's just keep this a happy space for everyone. Okay. Chalo, this is your first time listening to this track. Let's get into it. Ready?
I like that they've already marked explicit over there. Okay. There's no explanation to the track or any blurb, nothing.
No, it's a reply to Krishna after Krishna and apparently Raftar. It's and it's a reply that's come after 2.5 years. So बहुत जल्दी लिखते हैं. So anyway, sorry. Let's go.
Ready? Yes.
1, 2, 3, play.
So the question that you had answered, no, please don't.
No, right? Okay. Done.
No, just don't. Yeah.
So
there's no point.
We are then in agreement. I'm not going to keep the audio of this track on my channel. So that's that. Now let's talk about it.
So I'm assuming you would have just like, jaldi into 2 into 4, jo bhi maximum.
I'll probably speed it up.
Okay, ठीक है. By default, my first thing that always goes to is to try and see the good in things.
Yeah.
Whatever the thing may be, my first, I don't know, maybe it's just my filters, maybe it's my radio training, whatever it is, maybe generally it's my life training. I always tend to first seek for the goodness in people. So if in the song, the only good thing that I could, 2 good things actually that I found. One was the music. Okay? The music was good enough where I in parts I wanted to move. Like, in parts I was going with it. And I was like, I was not, even if I was not liking what I was hearing, exactly, the beat was making me move. So definitely वो एक अच्छी बात थी जो मुझे अच्छी लगी. And then there was constantly tussle going on in my head because beat अच्छी लग रही है, लेकिन जो साथ में और सुनना पड़ रहा है, वो एकदम से ऐसे हो रहा है. Like, it's like opposite reaction. So I was like, I was literally, I don't know if it's दिखाई देगा reaction में कि नहीं, but I literally stopped myself from moving. Like, I would begin to enjoy because of chorus pay. I would be like, and then suddenly I would go like, what? And then second half, in fact, not even second half, almost after the first chorus, वगैरह जैसी verse में घुसे, it was just, okay. So the second good thing, like I was saying, sometimes you can see that there's a lot of talent. A person, like, even when in the rhyme schemes, the way the rhyme has been created, if the words were different and if something sensible was being spoken over there, it would have actually made a really cool flow, लेकिन it's like, आप अपना talent किस चीज में use कर रहे हो और showcasing एक बहुत बड़ी चीज होती है. So if I today, if I have a good voice, but if I use that voice, there are many bad things. Okay, even if I don't judge it and call it bad, there are many or like things that don't have an appeal where I can use my voice, which can suddenly change the entire game. So while I might have the skill, where am I using that skill? And that was the only other thing which was good, which I found in this track. But even if I beep out all the galis, वो एक self-edit radio वाला चलता है दिमाग में. edit. No, and I was like, let me just take the meaning. I was like, मतलब क्या है पूरे गाने का और जो बातें बोली गई हैं, ultimately it was about one body part. And I don't need him to tell me about that body part, because, you know, there are industries. There are big industries with like multi-billion dollars invested in those industries, which will give me a much better visual appeal than listening to the song. So why am I going?
You mean gay porn? Like, I feel like he's just into gay porn, like after listening to this song.
No, I am saying porn itself. Or if they're talking about gay porn, or if they're talking about, he's just talking about one body part. I mean, let's just get this straight, that this song was just very like, I didn't know what to take out of it. I didn't know what to listen. I mean, even if I kept aside all the times, anyway, जब कोई लड़कियों के बारे में ऐसी बात करता है, तो immediately switch off हो जाता है. तो अगर आप उसके अलावा भी सुनते रहो किसी तरह, आप घसीट के खुद को सुन रहे हो because अभी सुनना है, right? Now I'm actually super excited about Krishna's reply, because this song is making me angry enough to want to know who after this is going to reply to him.
Oh, yikes.
So if that's the publicity he was seeking, well done, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just letting you go for it because I know what I feel. I will say that as well, but I genuinely wanted to see your first reaction. And this is completely like, I have not told her anything of what I think of this track. So
what do you, but I want to know. I want to know when you had heard it.
Yeah.
Did you actually, you know, there was a point at 3 minute ka something ka gana tha, 2 minute ke aspas, I actually checked ke aur kitna bacha hai, because ab deal nahi, there's only that much a beat can khincho you, na? And I was like, abhi kab tak aur hilna padega. And then abhi 1.5 minute aur bacha tha, so I was like, chalo theek hai. At what point while you listened to it for the first time, did you say, sunu ke na sunu?
No, so I got serious flashbacks of Moksh when I first heard it, because my ears bled then, my ears bled this time. And I was just like, you know, what do you look for when someone's coming after 2.5 years? You had all that time to write, and you claim to have reached heights in your career, right? And you claim that no one is near you, and you are at a certain level in the rap scene and all of that. And then you come and you drop this, you know? So for me, I was thinking, man, as a fan of his music, if I was a fan of him, I would be irritated, you know, like the fan base. I would say, like, you guys should feel disappointed because someone you admire and look up to, then, you know, what is the one word I would use to describe this song? At best, I would call it lazy. I would call it plain lazy. This is not the kind of writing you expect from someone who claims to have reached the top of the game. That's his claim, right? So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I mean, you've got the numbers apparently, so that means you're on top. But, you know, that's a whole different thing that I could say so many things about. But I'm just saying, first of all, 2.5 years you've taken to reply to Seedha Makeover and Raftar, and Krishna and Raftar are the OGs of the game, you know. So even when I actually went through the lines of this track to see what are the things he's attacking them with, you know. So if you're going to say how many years you've been in the game, that's not a very good way to come at people who've been in the game longer than you, because your years then fall flat in front of their years in the scene. So like, it was just like, for me, it was just like laziness, you know. I didn't want to think of any intelligent lines and intelligent lyrics. And I just wanted to drop a diss against them to get the hip hop audiences excited and talking about me. You know, it literally comes across as that, nothing else. And a lot of people I've heard, I mean, whatever, if calling this a brutal track, I don't think it's brutal at all. And brutal is obviously subjective, so it's fine. That's people's opinion. Brutal is not giving galis, especially if you claim to be someone whose pen is his way of earning a living. Yeah. Also, if you rely on your pen and your lyric and your songwriting to be your means of earning a living in the world, then resort to other things than galis, because galis are in the vocabulary of any Tom, Dick and Harry on the street. You know, this is how like kids in kindergarten would fight with each other, because their vocabulary is so limited. They can't come up with intelligent comebacks for each other. You know, I'm sorry, but that's just my honest opinion. As a fan of the genre, I feel anger because I feel like you're taking your audiences for granted and you're insulting their intelligence by coming up with a diss like this against OGs in the scene. You know, like spend a little more time with the pen and with your lyrics.
मतलब हम एक तरफ hip hop as a genre को poetry in motion की बातें कर रहे हैं. हम एक तरफ बात कर रहे हैं that, you know, it is such a tough art that not everyone who's a good writer can even still write hip hop lyrics, because there is much more to it than just Like, just it has a separate place. Everyone's trying to create that. And then we listen to this. And then, immediately you're like, हाँ, इसीलिए तो, हाँ, ठीक है. इसीलिए hip hop genre का नाम बदनाम है. Then it's like, हाँ, ठीक है.
Then
This is what it is. But this is not just what hip hop is. No wonder people don't get what the genre is.
Yeah. So this is the thing. So a lot of things I hear in defense of him is that he's not a lyrical rapper, right? And I'm okay with that. There are different styles that people adopt as their own. They know what works for them. Maybe you're a flows wala rapper. Maybe you're someone who writes great hooks. Maybe you sing well. Whatever it is, But then don't say you're the best rapper, you're the number one rapper. If you don't want to, if you want to say that metaphors or references ko, bhar mein jaye. Because then you can't be the best in the scene. If you don't master every aspect of the game that you're playing, you can't, like Roger Federer can't be the number one in the world if he says, I'm only going to master the forehand. I'm not going to work on my backhand. Do you know what I mean? And especially when one aspect of hip hop is battling and is beefing, then you're in a competitive sport. And when you're especially dissing someone, you got to bring your A game, right? And your A game means bring all the guns, man. Bring the references, bring the metaphors. Even if that's not your everyday writing style, you got to bring it when you're dissing someone. So,
and plus, let's be clear. We're not saying कि गाली use करना बुरी बात है. ये नहीं बोल रहे हैं. Point is, that should not be the only thing.
We said that in Notes also. He says
exactly.
Yeah.
But and there are so many times. I think I have to give us also credit for it. By now, we have heard to so many. I think hum bhi thode ab tempered ho gaye hain. We're also okay listening to a lot more galis. Like, from the time that we started to now, like, a lot of acceptance comes that koi baat nahi, itna to hota hai, koi baat nahi, itna to hota hai. But because we started looking for the meaning behind it, it is not just about the word. But if the whole thing is full of it, at some point you're like, yeah, it's the same thing being spoken in 50 different ways while his flow is amazing. He's giving one bar after another, trying to make it sound like that, right? But like all those 50 things are saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's just there were just variations of the same thought, which involved the male body parts. So it's like I mean let's move beyond the sexual references and all of that. That all aside, I would see, if I had to really say, there was one decent bar, the Pablo one, which was like, okay, nicely said.
That was right at the start, no?
Somewhere in right
almost like there,
and it's just, it really, when I heard it, I was like, I don't know if this deserves a response, because it's so beneath the skill level that we're used to. So then I thought, okay, maybe there's not going to be a reply. And you know how the audiences are going a little nuts. There was a hashtag called We Want Reply that was trending. And I was just like, there's no need to trend a hashtag, and there's no need for a 1 day, 2 day response. This is not a beef that has come with a time limit, which apparently is how the Mufar beef happened, right? So people will take their time. If someone can take 2.5 years, the other person can take their own time. Why not? There's no compulsion.
What's irritating me is he looks, I mean, from his song, he sounds like he has a good voice. He sounds like he's got talent. He sounds like he's got skill. And then with all that,
that's why I'm calling it lazy. That's why that's the only word I can come up with. It's just plain laziness. If you drop a track like this, it's
like a waste. It feels like, why did you waste it? Like, it could have been brilliant.
Yeah, if you were coming after 2.5 years, hopefully we would hope your skill level has grown in that time, right? And then if you're gonna reignite this beef, which apparently was already sealed and done with, we would expect brilliance to come at us, but it just left us wanting more. Like, that's it. So anywho,
it left us wanting Loverboy.
I like let's
because then Little Bunty happened. Sorry.
So 1 second. So I'll just say that there was one nice bar. There were a few things he kind of replied to, but again, because of the way he replied to them, they just didn't work as brutal. It's not brutal. This is lazy writing. Galis are not brutal. Intelligently insulting someone is still, you can consider it brutal. So okay, the location was nice. I thought I would like to be in in a place.
That घर ऊपर से जो हाँ दिख रहा था.
Chilling by the pool.
Yeah.
So now what happened is nobody expected Krishna to reply. And of course, you and I have been discussing this since Friday because Loverboy was on our list. And and then Lil Bunty dropped. So then I decided, I immediately messaged Rohan because, you know, one must. So I asked him, are you going to break it down or are you just going to do a reaction? He said, I'm doing both. So I said, fine, it makes sense. Now we'll just wait for a breakdown because
Right.
I know you guys will then ask us to cover the breakdown as well. So we're going to cover both. And let's see what the reply is going to be. I'm curious, man.
So first we're watching. Yeah.
Okay, one sec. What do you think? Do you think this would have made Krishna angry when he heard it? Or he would
I
have
can't
just been
think
like,
on his behalf, but very honestly, I think he would
Let's
have been
guess.
like, yeah, I think he would have totally been like, itna
hai?"
time ruk ke ye aaya. Okay, bring it. Now like it's in my court. Abhi theek hai, abhi chill. Abhi like, you know,
Abhi I'll
like थोड़ा तो
reply
कुछ करते
when-
कि जहाँ काम थोड़ा तो कुछ ऐसा होता कि जहाँ काम करना पड़ता. Like, you know, I think he would have thought that. He like अभी इस पे क्या काम करें? Like हाँ ठीक है कुछ like yeah.
Like what is
What
my,
do you think?
I think it would have been exactly that. Like now does like it would have just been like, really? This? After so long, this? You know? ठीक है. Let's just, I don't know, maybe like let's see how he replies. I don't think he's gonna need to spend too much time writing. We've seen his level with Markasam and all of that. So
Yeah.
but let's see what's happening. So
Okay.
there are a few things I must say. As much as I try to avoid spoilers, people just can't seem to help themselves on Instagram. So I get
Jojo,
tagged.
it's okay. They're excited. Okay, they're
I
excited
know.
for you to like. Come on, it's their way of showing love, right? So like, just be okay with it. Sorry, too bad.
Don't show me love like this. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, no, because somebody sent me an entire Baka explanation from Krishna's track, and I read it because I just stupidly didn't think like, what is this? I read it and then I was like, why have you sent me this? This is a proper spoiler. And the guy was like, oh, because a lot of channels didn't get this bar and it's such a good bar. And I was like, can I like, I
So क्या
trust?
copy paste करके सारे channels पे ही बस
Nahi, but he just didn't want us to miss it. And I was like, you know, let me try and interpret it on my own. Itna intelligence, so I think I bring to the table that I can try to get some things. And if I don't get them, there's Rohan, or then there's you guys in the comments later. But I would love to go into a track with no spoilers. So there are two things I know about this track. I won't tell you which ones. But when we finish watching, I'll tell you guys. So let's get into it. Oh my God, have not heard it. Oh, apparently the producer on this Krishna track is Emiway's ex-producer. So that's like a big
it's like full ऐसा खुंदस वाली लड़ाई हो रही है यहाँ तो.
It's
Like
hilarious.
वो भी होता है ना? That you get the ex-producer specially just to produce that track for you because you're like, hello. हम
See, now that's
गाने
brutal.
के production में भी double layers डालेंगे. That's what. गाने के production में भी layers डालेंगे. आ जाओ, bring it.
Video में भी होंगे ना बहुत सारे layers.
Of course.
Remember,
Yeah, I can already on the still see.
हाँ.
Yeah. And on the still I can see a pool. So obviously pool के side में only standing already. हाँ. Chalo, let's get started.
Same location feels. Chalo, let's do it. Lil Bunty. Producer Flamboy. Wait.
So Bunty, because Emiway's name is Bunty, is it?
I don't know, but I think he's called Bunty. Yeah, he's called Bunty by Krishna or everyone else. I don't know, but definitely by Krishna. Yes, so he's named the track only Lil Bunty.
Okay, got it.
The implication is, you know what? So
yes, of course.
Let's just.
Okay.
1, 2. Okay, I'm like, okay, fine, let's do it. Chalo.
I'm ready.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, play.
Little Bunty, Daddy's home. Papa. Yeah, you ready? Real talk, मैं हूँ realist in the scene. सुना बंटी की जली तो फिर ये है केरोसिन. ये है real rap, pull your fucking hair back. 2.5 साल पहले मैंने ली थी इसकी bare back. बना मैं पढ़ा तो ये मेरी कला से जला, क्यों जब करा था मना किया था भला, अब तो मरा तू। कलम चला तो परंपरा में हरा दूं, फेमी वे करे स्विंग बोथ वेज जैसे तराजू। कृष्णा था चुप मगर हार नहीं माने, इन्होंने बहुत ट्राई करा मार नहीं पा रहे। तू है शुगर कर ले शुगर, तुम तो मार नहीं खा रहे। बने ये कैसे पाबलो जब इसको बार नहीं आ रहे। करा था मैंने खात्मा, अब मारू इसकी आत्मा। शीप बाहर रहती इसकी आदत है चाटना, हुई इसकी हाइप टेक तो आया मेरे पास ना, आके मुझे काट दी और मैं ना कोई महात्मा। जा बेटे अब सहला अपने मन को, बड़ा होगा नहीं फ्लेक्स करके धन को। छोटे कमाओ टू प्ले, हर रात बोलता होगा अपने लंड को। शॉट देने लगा हो गए सारे शॉट फेल, कराए से डाउन पहले राउंड में ही बहुत तेज। इसमें सिर्फ लौड़े ये लौड़े वो, बस लौड़े की कहानियां बताए इन कॉकटेल्स। बीफ करना है मम्मी से पूछ, चला डालूंगा तुझे जैसे यहाँ गर्मी में धूप। लेता मैं इनकी जब बोलता है पिंकी, तो मुझे याद आती इसकी बंदी की। ओ ले बंटी है सैड अप, सब जानते हैं बंटी है बैकअप। जब लिटाऊं तुझे नीचे मैं लूं मैं तेरी पीछे से, इज द ओनली टाइम आई नीड बैकअप। मैं मेरे पंटर मारते हैं हंटर, सुबह शाम लेते तेरी जमकर। पीठ पर है फ्लैम बॉय खड़े नहीं रहने का, चल छोटे जमकर, चल छोटे जमकर। आके मेरे लंड पर बंद कर, छोटे नाटक कम कर। लूंगा तेरी तो होगा तू आउट ऑफ संपर्क। हल्की टोन में मेरी ही लाइनें बोल के इसे लगा ये कोल्ड है, नकलची होते बंदर। मरे पड़े जो करे आके यहाँ रंबल, सिल्वर बैक में रैप भले या जंगल। हिलाता रहे बेटा ओढ़ के तू कंबल, स्किन लाइट माइंड से मैं टाकूं चंबल। रैप पे आता तो पढ़ते रैप पढ़े तुझे, हाँ नो फैक्ट जब अटैक करे मुझे। 8 साल हो गए रैप करे तुझे, अभी भी कोई मानता नहीं रैप करे तुझे। हाँ कोई भी सुनेगा अब तेरा ये टेस्ट, तो लगेगा डेस्परेट फॉर डॉलर का टेक। ये गधे की चूत बोल रहा अब उन्हें धूप, तो कृष्णा फिर लाया या सोलर इक्लिप्स। अब बना तू पहाड़ यहाँ घाटी है दोस्त, लगता तू धरती पे भारी है बोझ। ये अनपढ़ गवार छमिया जन्नाल से आगे ना इनकी तो बढ़ती है सोच। घाव तू फिलहाल ले ले बैंडेज बैक स्टेज, इफ आई गेट सन माइक जैक्सन रैम्पेज। तू काई होगी छोटे लेंगे तेरी चैन से, तेरा ओनली फैन पेज होगा ओनली फैंस पे। Femi whip, pussy whip, that's a fact done. Your bitch probably fuck you with a strap on. All I need is one verse to put you in a hearse, and I don't even have to put my cap on. कलमकार को बना बैठा मैं डेथ रो, इस बारी इसकी मौत टल ना पाए जैसे जेथरो। Ending the silence with violence of violence. Now watch a dead rapper get fucked, no necro. कुल्फा क्या करेगी कुल्फी है खुद, बंटी तो लगता है बुद्धि से दुष्ट। ऑटोमेटिक था ब्रश ऑटोमेटिक, अब टांगे जब दिखता है डॉलर तो खुलती है खुद। देखो ये छपरी है सोच इसकी नाली में, इसको लगा ये ब्रूटल है गाली से। मेरा गाना नहीं चला था तेरे नाम से, चला मेरा गाना तेरी बदनामी से। ये तो टीजर है छोटे।
What?
I feel avenged, you know, after that previous Ghana. Right now, like, this is brutal. This is how you do it. What? I could listen to this like 5 times more right now.
Can we just listen to it again? I know we're gonna
Yes,
do Rohan's
please.
breakdown, but we gotta.
Yes, please.
Restart.
I have
This
rebound.
This was crazy, and I missed so much. Oh my god, guys!
It was
this
hilarious
is-
also.
I'm sorry. This is how
It
it's
was-
done, man. It's just so funny. It's so funny. It's brutal. It's freaking intelligent. Okay, let's listen to it again, man.
तसल्ली
Can't.
तसल्ली मिल रही है ना इतनी, अभी मैं बता नहीं सकती. Okay,
That's
come
the
on.
word. That's the word. Chalo, let's do it. Oh my
Yes.
god. Okay. 1, 2, 3, play. That laugh reminds me
His
of
laugh
Yunus.
also.
Little Bunty, Daddy's
He acted
home.
so well, yeah.
His glasses.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
The laugh.
रियल टॉक मैं हूँ रियलिस्ट इन द सीन, सुना बंटी की चली तो फिर ये है केरोसिन। ये है रियल रैप, पुल योर फकिंग हेयर बैक। 2.5 साल पहले मैंने ली थी इसकी बैर बैक। बना मैं बड़ा तो ये मेरी कला से जला, क्यों जब करा था मना किया था भला, अब तो मरा तू। कलम चला तो परंपरा में हरा दूं, फेमी वे करे स्विंग बोथ वेज जैसे तराजू। कृष्णा था चुप मगर हार नहीं माने, इन्होंने बहुत ट्राई करा मार नहीं पा रहे। तू है शुगर कर ले शुगर, तुम तो मार नहीं खा रहे। बने ये कैसे पाबलो जब इसको बार नहीं आ रहे। करा था मैंने खात्मा, अब मारू इसकी आत्मा। शीप बाहर रहती इसकी आदत है चाटना, हुई इसकी हाइप टेक तो आया मेरे पास ना, आके मुझे काट दी और मैं ना कोई महात्मा। जा बेटे अब सहला अपने मन को, बड़ा होगा नहीं फ्लेक्स करके धन को। छोटे कमाओ टू प्ले, हर रात बोलता होगा अपने लंड को। शॉट देने लगा हो गए सारे शॉट फेल, कराए से डाउन पहले राउंड में ही बहुत तेज। इसमें सिर्फ लौड़े ये लौड़े वो, बस लौड़े की कहानियां बताए इन कॉकटेल्स। बीफ करना है मम्मी से पूछ, चला डालूंगा तुझे जैसे यहाँ गर्मी में धूप। लेता मैं इनकी जब बोलता है पिंकी, तो मुझे याद आती इसकी बंदी की। ओ ले बंटी है सैड अब, सब जानते हैं बंटी है बैकअप। जब लिटाऊं तुझे नीचे मिलूं मैं तेरी पीछे से, is the only time I need backup। मैं मेरे पंटर मारते हैं हंटर, सुबह शाम लेते तेरी जमकर। पीठ पर है फ्लैम बॉय खड़े नहीं रहने का, चल छोटे जमकर, चल छोटे जमकर। आके मेरे लंड पर बंद कर, छोटे नाटक कम कर। लूंगा तेरी तो होगा तू आउट ऑफ संपर्क। हल्की टोन में मेरी ही लाइनें बोल के इसे लगा ये कोल्ड है, नकलची होते बंदर। मरे पड़े जो करे आके यहाँ रंबल, सिल्वर बैक में रैप भले या जंगल। हिलाता रह बेटा ओढ़ के तू कंबल, स्किन लाइट माइंड से मैं डाकू चंबल। रैप पे आता तो पढ़ते रैप पढ़े तुझे, हाँ नो फैक्ट जब अटैक करे मुझे, हाँ 8 साल हो गए रैप करे तुझे, अभी भी कोई मानता नहीं रैप करे तुझे। हाँ कोई भी सुनेगा अब तेरा ये डिस तो लगेगा डेस्परेट फॉर डॉलर का टिक। ये गधे की चूत बोल रहा अब उन्हें धूप, तो कृष्णा फिर लाया यहाँ सोलर इक्लिप्स। अब बना तू पहाड़ यहाँ घाटी है दोस्त, लगता तू धरती पे भारी है बोझ। ये अनपढ़ गवार छमिया जनाल से आगे ना इनकी तो बढ़ती है सोच। घाव तू सिला ले बैंडेज बैक स्टेज, इफ आई कैच सन माइक जैक्सन रैम्पेज। तू काई होगी छोटे लेंगे तेरी चैन से, तेरा ओनली फैन पेज होगा ओनली फैंस पे। Femi whip, pussy whip, that's a fact done. Your bitch probably fuck you with a strap on. All I need is one verse to put you in a hearse, and I don't even have to put my cap on. कलमकार को बना बैठा मैं death row, इस बारी इसकी मौत टलना पाए जैसे Jethro. Ending the silence with violence of violence. Now watch a dead rapper get fucked, no necro. कुल्फा क्या करेगी कुल्फी है खुद, बंटी तो लगता है बुद्धि से दुष्ट। ऑटोमेटिक था ब्रश ऑटोमेटिक, अब टांगे जब दिखता है डॉलर तो खुलती है खुद। देखो ये छपरी है सोच इसकी नाली में, इसको लगा ये ब्रूटल है गाली से। मेरा गाना नहीं चला था तेरे नाम से, चला मेरा गाना तेरी बदनामी से। ये तो टीजर है छोटे।
Listen, like,
Last.
रुलाओगे क्या? Oof. Listen, can we just talk about pehle just like how hilarious the production is?
How
You know, all
hilarious
those
everything
ad-libs,
is. The laughs.
everything is.
All the laughs.
His singing beach mein when he's like, and you know, jab aap, right from the acting bits.
Even his like sunglasses, his look, the whole like, I'm just chilling, I'm on holiday, man.
Yeah.
This is like child's play for me writing this. It's so, and I'm
And
alone.
also-
Did you get that? He's alone. He's not got a gang of people behind him. He's like, I'm enough for you on my own. Like, you know, the whole is freaking hilarious.
All the galis, like, see, Krishna was also, एक होता है directly गाली बोलना, एक होता है visual imagery paint करना जहाँ गाली दिखती है आपको. This is what was happening in this. He didn't take the gali, and while he was even, you know, giving an answer back to those galis, it was the way he was mixing it in with some other reference point, which wasn't only a gali. You know, it was just hilariously done. There were some points which were like, you know, where you kind of like, ye kyo? Lekin ye kaha tha, wo thought itna funny tha that I couldn't stop, like, you know, laughing. Wow.
You know, I could watch this like 10 times now, like on loop, because there's fun, there's so much. And like you said, रुलाओगे क्या? अब जाए खुशी के आंसू मेरे निकलने वाले हैं, because like it's so, this is what makes you happy as a fan of the genre. This is how you reply. This is how you diss someone, because guys, get real. This, you know,
we don't even take sides because we don't have any specific people. We are fans of so many people. We're fans of the genre. So then to, you know, this is the kind of stuff which makes you say, this is how you do it. Like, this is a good song. Even if it wasn't a diss, I would have heard the song. I would have thoda sa made wagera ke like main itni gaali kyun ho rahi, and then I would have been like, okay, you know, but like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, okay, firstly, props to Flamboy. What the hell was that beat? I couldn't stop. Like, I had to stop myself from moving to it because I wanted to focus on the lyrics and see.
Yeah.
So actually, the first time I was looking at the subtitles more than even him. The second time around, I was focusing more on him and what's happening in the video. So there's that whole like hood wala costume that he's wearing. I'm sure that's symbolic in some way. There's there's like little.
I think everything is symbolic in this,
symbolic.
And there was, and surprisingly, I got a lot of them, or at least I think I got it, so I'm very happy about it.
Good, we'll discuss.
बाकी हम रोहन का देखेंगे तो उसमें पता लग जाएगा हमें.
हाँ, but I freaking love the bass. This beat, man, it just really gets you. It just gets you, and the number of times he changed his flow, and we know that Krishna does that on a regular everyday basis, but the flows in this had so, if I had to like give a flow a name, then this was
Yeah.
sarcasm 1, sarcasm 2, sarcasm 3.
I love
That's how I would name the flows in this, because
I love that.
the tone that he took was just so hilarious.
Phenomenal.
He's trolling, or they could be trolling 1, trolling 2, trolling 3, trolling. That's the tone. That's the flow.
But this wasn't just trolling. There was so much intelligence behind it that it has to be sarcasm wala you hit it. It's not easy to be sarcastic, Normally there is only like a single layer of sarcasm people follow.
Yeah.
लेकिन सिर्फ tone change करने को sarcasm नहीं बोलते. Sarcastic होना एक कला है. And Krishna has mastered it clearly. He has shown it in a phenomenal way.
Especially that bit where he moved into the English lines. First of all, we've always admired the smooth switch that he does between the languages. It doesn't ever jar. In this, I felt like there was extra smoothness, and just the lines themselves and his delivery of them was so funny and so it was like butter, man.
It was melodic. It was also very melodic. I have a feeling he's either working on a singing voice or मतलब गला खुल चुका है बहुत सारा करके या पता नहीं जो भी हुआ है. Like there's definitely like a singing side to him which is coming out, which he's using very nicely to add impact. Yeah, like whenever he has to put something into an impact, he was kind of going into, even if it was जब आप class में किसी को bully करते हो, who's like a junior, and then when you call someone, or there were different ways the way he was using it. It was really funny.
So good. Like definitely the modulation and the singing and all of that. Like this is what we're saying. Like you bring your A game in all aspects, if you're gonna drop a diss against someone as a reply, which is, probably just an average diss for you, but you'll still not get lazy, you'll not get lazy, even though that you don't need to bring you don't need to bring a tanker. You can just bring one rifle and finish this off, so but even then you're not gonna get lazy. Anyway, why am I giving what is wrong with me? Anyway,
it's the genre in you that's activated.
Funnily, did he use the air gun in this? I don't think I saw it. I don't remember it. No. Which is a standard his feature. So if he didn't use it in a diss track, then that's really funny. Because one would expect him to. But anyway, that aside.
But he said, abhi to cap pehne ki bhi zarurat nahi hai. He just like pushed the cap out of the frame.
Yeah, oh my God, that line.
That was so good.
I was wondering kiska haath hai cap la raha hai jo frame pe. So I want to be that person.
Very well directed. Like nicely done.
Yes. Who's the director? One second. Director Grimm. Brilliant. Loved it.
Oh, of course,
Loved it. Mix and master Ryan Summerhills. Produced by Flamboy. Man, the beat, so freaking good. Okay.
Good team.
I have to also say that, like you were saying, he's worked on the singing and all of that. Just the way he says, "Ye to teaser hai chote" at the end, even the tonality there and the smile on the face, I can't. Like, it's like you just murdered someone and now you're, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Like, you're just chircoing salt on the battered and bruised body and then you're walking off. It was just hilarious. Sorry. But yeah, okay, we should get to the breakdown.
Yes.
We would,
there were also some ad-libs, and ek wo wala kaun sa tha? Both the times when we heard it, ek wo, something in the background, he, like in the middle of the song at some point, it goes into the background and there was one sound. And both the times I thought I'll remember it, but then there was so much happening that I forgot. There's that, do you remember? Like there was this one ad-lib where he said something and then, yeah, they were really funny. There was one very distinct one. I guess once we're going through the...
now that you mentioned ad-libs, can I just say that the ad-libs in this was so funny and they were so like apt and bang on with the line.
Correct.
The ad-libs in the previous track were just the L word. Like I literally only heard that as ad-libs in the background. And I'm like...
And also they were out of sync. They were out of, tonality. Like when you hear it, they sounded off. They didn't sound in key. That's the one thing I remember. That ad-libs also need to be in like some sort of a key, right? They need to come in a way where they don't take over the primary track, but at the same time, they need to add value. So uske andar wo bahut alag se ho raha tha. It was bahut alag se aaya tha, and I was like, it was more like an interruption.
Let's just give them as many galis as we can in 3 minutes. That seems to have been the aim.
अब मुझे ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा।
हाँ, I know.
अब मुझे ऐसे ठीक लग रहा है।
अभी हमारी आत्मा खुश है। आत्मा को तसल्ली, तृप्ति, everything मिल गया।
Avenge is the word. Yes.
अभी
चलो.
Assemble has happened. Okay. So where is Rohan?
Hi, Rohan calling. Hello.
So 1 second, just to let you all know, I invited Rohan to be a part of this reaction, but he's made 2 videos, so obviously it's weird if he's on a third one. But he's very sweet. He messaged me on Monday and he asked me, when are you recording? And I said on Wednesday. And so he said, I missed 3-4 bars in my breakdown, and then he made a very sad smiley face. Yeah.
क्या रोहन के साथ भी ऐसा होता है? Is Rohan human?
I know होता है, right? सबके साथ होता है. I told you it happens to the best of us. Don't worry. So what do you now want? So he's like, you want me to send them to you? I said, hey, so I'll include them. So I told him,
sweet,
yeah. But I told him this is the time I'm recording on Wednesday. Send it to me half an hour after I start recording. So I have not looked at them. They're now on my WhatsApp. I will open them at the end of this breakdown. As soon as this breakdown video ends, we will read out his missed bars, so you guys and all of us can know everything.
We'll get the complete picture.
Thanks, Rohan, for the extra bits. And this is his ghost collab with me.
Nice.
So let's do it. We're watching it at normal speed now. Let's just not speed it up this time. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to just take it because he's going to play the song bits. So
you want to send me the video first?
Did I
So both of us have the same? No.
Oh, oops. Just look at that. I have sent it to you. Look at your messages.
Got it.
That's the third
I'm
link.
on it.
Oh, one
okay.
thing.
All queued and ready.
Already? Okay.
Yes.
Chalo. 1, 2, 3, play.
Hello, what is up? मेरा नाम है रोहन कारियप्पा and finally the diss season is officially on. पहले हमें लगा कि सीन में सब सही हो गया है ना 2.5 साल पहले कि भाई रफ्तार और एमी का जो पंगा था वो शांत हो चुका है, अब यहाँ पे कोई भी झगड़ा नहीं होगा. तब कृष्णा आउट ऑफ नोवेयर केम विद फ्री वर्स फ्री सीधा मेकओवर एंड बीफ सीजन को फिर से स्विच ऑन कर दिया. तब हमें एमी के रिप्लाई के लिए वेट करना पड़ा. बहुत टाइम तक हमने वेट किया, 2-2.5 साल निकल गए एंड उसके बाद लास्ट मंथ एमी फाइनली डिसाइडेड टू ड्रॉप हिज फर्स्ट डायरेक्ट डिस ट्रैक अगेंस्ट कृष्णा. उसके बाद सब लोगों ने अपनी मुंडी कृष्णा की तरफ मोड़ी और उन्हें आस भरी निगाहों से देखा और उनकी डिस का वेट किया. और जैसे ही हमारी उम्मीदें खत्म होने वाली थी वैसे ही कृष्णा ड्रॉप्ड हिज रिस्पॉन्स टू चुसंबा कॉल्ड Lil Bunty. The name obviously gives a funny twist to the word Bunty. साथ ही साथ कृष्णा एमीवे को थ्रू आउट द बीफ क्या कैरेक्टर देने वाले हैं इससे हमें वो भी पता चल गया. एंड द आंसर इज किड का कैरेक्टर उनको देने वाले. अगर आपको समझ नहीं आया तो बेसिकली जैसे मुफाड को कृष्णा ने एक लड़की का कैरेक्टर दिया था एंड मुफाड ने कृष्णा को एक साइड किक का कैरेक्टर दिया था कि तू मेन इंसान नहीं है तो किसी और के अंडर काम करता है एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. एंड उसके आगे आने वाले डिस्ट्रैक्ट्स में मेनली मोस्ट ऑफ देयर इंसल्ट्स एंड डिसेस वर रिवॉल्विंग अराउंड दिस कैरेक्टर. वैसे ही इस बार कृष्णा ने एमीवे बंटाई को बच्चे का कैरेक्टर दिया है मेनली एंड दैट्स व्हाट लिल बंटी रिफर्स टू. देयर इज अ लॉट टू डिस्कस बिफोर वी एक्चुअली जंप इनटू द लिरिक्स ब्रेकडाउन. फर्स्टली द ट्रैक लेंथ ऑफ लिल बंटी इज exactly the same as that of Chusamba.
Nice.
And it doesn't seem like a coincidence because Chusamba ka BPM tempo was 140 BPM and इस track का tempo was 110 BPM. The message could be कि हम दोनों ने same airtime लिया and see the difference in our skill levels. Secondly and more importantly, Flamboy has produced the beat of this track. If you've seen MEV's growth, then you would know that Flamboy was one of his prime allies at one point in time. उसके बाद बीच में उन लोगों ने कुछ unfollow किया था, थोड़ी controversy हुई थी, but no one knew how serious that dispute was. Well, I think now the whole scene knows. Having said that, it is Krishna, so expect a few bars here and there, and let's jump right into the breakdown.
1 sec, pause here. Can I just say before we get into it that I love the shirt. I just love Cuban collars. So yeah.
Nice.
Okay, let's do it.
Wait, so you are at 2:15 right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
1, 2, 3, play.
Daddy's home. Intro is pretty simple. Starts off with your regular schoolboy insults.
Real talk, मैं हूँ realist in the scene. सुना बंटी की चली तो फिर ये है केरोसिन.
Pretty simple. Real talk मतलब ये सच बात है. कृष्णा is the realest one in the scene. अगर बंटी यानी एमीवे की अब तक कृष्णा से जलती रही है तो this track would act like a kerosene. मतलब अगर अभी तक जल रही है तो ये और ज्यादा जलाएगा. ऑल्सो कमेंट में ये कोई नहीं बोलेगा कि रियल टॉक इज ऑल्सो शाउट आउट टू ज्योति सरदार पॉडकास्ट जिसमें कृष्णा फीचर हुए थे बिकॉज पॉडकास्ट का नाम रियल टॉक है ना. कोई भी ऐसी बात तो नहीं कर रहेगा हमारे बीच में से, है ना. मूविंग ऑन.
है ना. Pause. This was spoiler 1 that someone tagged me in. So
what?
This was spoiler number 1 that someone tagged me in. So I knew he's done this mention. So, and then I'm happy.
nice.
I'm also happy Rohan said this because
Huh.
I've
But
been
hey,
getting.
hey,
Hey, it's
you
all
know,
good. You know,
we'll just take it anyway.
It was a shout out
Just
to
take
me.
it.
It's all good.
why not?
No, because people were messaging and leaving comments before before Rohan had tagged me and people had tagged me and I'd seen it. And I was like, it's a commonly used phrase. It's not, I don't
Yeah.
own the phrase, guys. So there, but anyways, I'll take it. Chalo, let's continue.
Very good. Okay.
This was spoiler number 1. Spoiler 2, let me tell you before we get into it, was the solar eclipse wala line, which someone sent me the full explanation for. And I was like, okay, na to I
Which
can
is a good
understand.
line though.
It's a great line. Okay.
Yeah.
Chalo.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, play.
Pull your fucking hair back 2.5 साल पहले मैंने ली थी इसकी bareback.
Pull your hair back is a saying that means someone is anxious and someone is tensed. ठीक है, कृष्णा सेज की रियल रैप यानी मेरा रैप सुन के एमिवे टेंशन में आने वाले हैं. बेयर बैक मतलब होता है नंगे बदन करके कृष्णा ने उनकी ली थी. अब आई नो इसको कम चीप तरीके से कैसे बताया जाएगा हिंदी में मुझे तो नहीं पता. अगर आपको पता है बेयर बैक को कम चीप तरीके से हिंदी में कैसे बोला जाता है, प्लीज ड्रॉप अ कमेंट डाउन बिलो. ऑल्सो 2.5 साल पहले ली थी मीन्स सीधा मेकओवर वाला टाइम जब कृष्णा ने एमिवे पे 3 डायरेक्ट डिस्ट्रैक्ट्स निकाले थे. फ्री वर्स फीस्ट, that was sort of subliminal, sort of direct. उसके बाद सीधा makeover was a direct one and दम है. Also, when you hit it from the back, when you're screwing someone from the back, sometimes you also pull their hair back. So pull your hair back का वो एक मतलब भी हो सकता है.
बना में बड़ा तो ये मेरी कला से जला क्यों जब करा था मना किया था भला अब तो मरा तू.
Not much to decode here. These are flow heavy bars. यहाँ पे वो बोल रहे हैं कि एमिवे कृष्णा की ग्रोथ देखकर जेलस हो गए and ignoring the beef was a better decision for एमिवे. And now that एमिवे has jumped onto this beef, Krishna is going for the kill.
कलम चला तो परंपरा में हरा दूं.
परंपरा मतलब होता है ट्रेडिशन. कृष्णा सेज कि ये पुराना ट्रेडिशन है कि जब कृष्णा लिखते हैं, रैप लिखते हैं, वो हमेशा अपने ऑप्स को हराते हैं. इट इज नॉट अ प्रोबेबिलिटी, इट इज अ ट्रेडिशन. ये तो होता ही होता है.
एमिवे करे swing both ways जैसे तराजू.
फर्स्ट सॉलिड बार ऑफ द ट्रैक. स्विंगिंग बोथ वेज मतलब एक ऐसा इंसान जो बाइसेक्सुअल है. ही इज इंटरेस्टेड इन बोथ फीमेल एंड मेल. कृष्णा सेज कि एमिवे स्विंग्स बोथ द वेज एंड देन ही कंपेयर्स इट टू तराजू या फिर आप उसको बोल सकते हैं एनालॉग वेइंग स्केल, क्योंकि वो भी दोनों तरफ स्विंग हो सकता है ना. एक तरफ अगर वेट ज्यादा होगा तो उस तरफ स्विंग हो जाता है. एंड देन स्विंगिंग बोथ वेज अगेन जैसे मैंने आपको बताया बाइसेक्सुअल वाला रेफरेंस है. मूविंग ऑन.
One sec, pause.
Yeah.
Could it also mean he's used tarazu because he's a Libran and Emiwe clearly wants to make love to him? Is that a hidden meaning? I'm just saying. Tarazu always makes me think of Librans. Okay, so.
Well, I only thought of comparison. Like when tarazu is also used to compare two things, right? So he very directly went for ke jab comparison mein utroge, so then like the whatever.
Okay. Very nice. Okay. Multiple.
So 450.
Okay, one sec. So 1, 2, 3, play.
ट्राई करा मार नहीं पा रहे.
Again, a simple bar with a hidden name drop in it. Krishna was silent for the last month or so, but इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो हार मान चुके थे. And then he says कि they tried to kill Krishna's career, but they couldn't. Also, Kara Marni in this bar is the name of a female artist, Kara Marni.
बहुत ट्राई करा मार नहीं पा रहे.
जिन्होंने एमिवे के साथ कोलैब किया था. The track is called Don't Be the One and the producer of the track is the man himself, Flamboy.
तू है शुगर कर ले शुगर तुम तो मार नहीं खा.
तू है शुगर, a very classic you are gay bar of the diss track जो कि हमें यहाँ पे मिल चुका है. Krishna says that you are gay and इनको खुश होना चाहिए, एमिवे की टीम को खुश होना चाहिए that they are not getting beaten up. Let's move on to the next one.
बने ये कैसे पाब्लो जब इसको बार नहीं आ रहे.
चुसंबा गाने का most well written bar was this.
डॉलर जला देगा भाई तेरा पाब्लो.
Emiwe was obviously talking about Pablo Escobar and the story about him burning some money to keep his daughter warm in winter season. Krishna responds by saying कि ये कैसा पाब्लो है जब इसको बार नहीं आ रहे, मतलब जब वो बार्स या पंचलाइंस लिख नहीं पा रहा है. Also, जब इसको बार is a wordplay on Pablo's surname Escobar. इसको बार नहीं आ रहा.
It was right there. It was right there.
करा था मैंने खात्मा मारू इसकी आत्मा.
Krishna claims that एमिवे को वो 2 साल पहले ही मार चुके हैं एंड जो अभी वो बीफ कर रहे हैं that will end up with him killing एमिवे's soul, spirit as well. बेसिकली एमिवे का कोई नामो निशान नहीं बचेगा इज व्हाट ही इज ट्राइंग टू से।
जीभ बाहर रहती इसकी आदत है चाटना।
जीभ बाहर रहती, एमिवे यूजुअली स्टिक्स हिज टंग आउट बिकॉज ही इज यूज्ड टू लिकिंग एस। मतलब अब चाटने का मतलब क्या होता है आपको पता ही है ना कि भाई बहुत ज्यादा चापलूसी करने की एमिवे को आदत है। ऑल्सो जीप कुड बी, एंड आई एम सेइंग कुड बी, अ वर्ड प्ले ऑन द कार कंपनी जीप, JEEP, बिकॉज एमिवे के पास जो गाड़ी है रेड कलर की वो जीप कंपनी की है। इट कुड बी, आई एम रियली नॉट श्योर।
हुई इसकी हाइप टेक तो आया मेरे पास ना, आके मुझे काट दी और मैं ना कोई महात्मा।
जब हाइप खत्म हो गई तो एमिवे ने कृष्णा को गांड दी। सो हियर कृष्णा इज इक्वेटिंग बीफिंग विद हिम टू गांड देना। मतलब कोई मुझसे बीफ करेगा तो भाई इसका मतलब है कि वो बंदा सामने से मेरे को दे रहा है। मैं ना कोई महात्मा लाइन इज टू एस्टैब्लिश द वर्ड प्ले। गांधी, महात्मा गांधी कहते सरनेम और गांधी, ये वर्ड प्ले एस्टैब्लिश करने के लिए महात्मा वाला रेफरेंस देना जरूरी था। मूविंग ऑन।
छोटे कम आउट टू प्ले, हर रात बोलता होगा अपने लंड को।
This is by far the funniest bar of the track, hands down. Chote come out to play was the phrase used by Emiwe in the intro of Chusamba. Krishna absolutely flips it by saying कि Emiwe यही चीज हर रात अपने पीनिस को देखकर बोलता है। Two hidden insults here, एक तो छोटा है, दूसरा erectile dysfunction की come out to play बोलना पड़ रहा है।
शॉट देने लगा हो गए सारे शॉट फेल, करा इसे डाउन पहले राउंड में ही बहुत तेज।
करा इसे डाउन पहले राउंड में मींस कृष्णा ने एमिवे को नॉकआउट कर दिया और नॉकआउट करके उनको गिरा दिया इन द वेरी फर्स्ट राउंड। अगेन रेफरिंग टू फर्स्टली हाउ इजी एन ओपोनेंट एमिवे इज, एंड देन रेफरिंग टू द सीधा मेकओवर टाइम कि मैंने उसी टाइम पहले राउंड में ही एमिवे को हरा दिया था।
इसमें सिर्फ लौड़े ये लौड़े वो, बस लौड़े की कहानियां बताएं इन कॉकटेल्स।
Okay, so the major complaint that people had with Chusamba was
Nice
that
reply.
there were a lot of dick mentions in throughout the track, है ना? Everybody is bulla, everybody is lant, ऐसे कुछ लोगों ने बोला था कि इस टाइप का गाना है। Krishna addresses that and says कि ये लौड़े की कहानियां सुना रहे हैं, but he's not interested in cocktails. Now, cocktail is a category of alcoholic drinks जिसमें alcoholic drinks को multiple alcoholic drinks को mix किया जाता है, alcoholic drinks को किसी juice के साथ mix किया जाता है, etc. etc. But also it is a word play on cocktail, TALE वाला tail, यानी कहानियां, लौड़े की कहानियां, cock.
I didn't know this.
Oh,
बीफ करना है मम्मी से पूछ।
Now this line is referring to Emiwe's track मालिक, जिसमें एक लाइन आती है जिसमें वो कहते हैं कि उनकी मम्मी ने कहा है कि उन्हें बीफ नहीं करना चाहिए।
ना मेरे मम्मी ने कहा है मुझे बीफ नहीं करना है।
कृष्णा taunts that and says कि बीफ करने से पहले एमिवे को मम्मी से परमिशन ले लेनी चाहिए, मम्मी से पूछ लेना चाहिए।
चला डालूंगा तुझे जैसे यहाँ गर्मी में धूप।
एमिवे ने कृष्णा
said
को
it.
जलाने की बात करी थी अपने ट्रैक में। कृष्णा says something similar here. He says कि वो एमिवे को जलाएंगे जैसे गर्मी में धूप। Now दिल्ली के समर्स काफी ज्यादा ब्रूटल होते हैं और रूथलेस होते हैं, एंड दिल्ली के समर में अगर आप बाहर जाओगे तो आपको सनबर्न होने का खतरा रहता है। सनबर्न बेसिकली जला देंगे जैसे गर्मी में धूप।
लेता मैं इनकी जब बोलता है पिंकी तो मुझे याद आती इसकी बंदी की।
Krishna again flips the insult back successfully.
This
Mufad
I
gave
did
this
not
name
like.
Pinky to Krishna during his beef, and Emiwe used it in his track Chusamba as well to insult Krishna. Krishna says कि whenever Emiwe said Pinky, it reminded Krishna of Emiwe's girlfriend's private part. Now Krishna doesn't actually say it out loud. Rather, he used this technique
That I
called
liked.
the mind rhyme, जिसमें previous rhyming words और present sentence के context से आपका mind खुद एक word imagine कर लेता है without the rapper even saying this. Also remember जो बच्चे का character कृष्णा ने एमिवे बंटाई को दिया था, this bar had inky pinky rhyme scheme that again goes with the theme of Lil Bunty.
ओ ले बंटी है सैड अप, सब जानते हैं बंटी है बैकअप।
Again continues the child character. जैसे हम बच्चों को तोतला के बात करते हैं वैसे ही कृष्णा starts the bar with olele, and then the following bar is pretty straightforward. Emiwe is sad and everyone knows that Emiwe has no skills to show.
जब लिटा हूँ तुझे नीचे मिलूं मैं तेरी पीछे से, is the only time I need backup.
Another decent bar from the track. Fall off में हमने देखा था उन्होंने एक रेफरेंस यूज किया था कि 6 बंदे उनका लेवल नहीं छू पाए साइफर में. Also in Free Verse Feast he had mentioned that if Emiwe has to fight against Krishna he would need his friends, he would need your guys. कृष्णा सेज कि उन्हें बैकअप या सपोर्ट, बैकअप यानी सपोर्ट की जरूरत नहीं होती लड़ाई में, वो अकेले ही काफी है. And the only time he needs a backup is when he's screwing Emiwe from behind. तब पिछवाड़ा से ऊपर करना पड़ता है ना, तो बैक अप पिछवाड़ा ऊपर करना एंड बैकअप सपोर्ट.
मैं मेरे पंटर मारते हैं हंटर सुबह शाम लेते तेरी जमकर.
Yet again a sexual bar, but this time Krishna mocks Emiway in his own flow, जो Emiway ने अपने ट्रैक
his
जंप
own
कर में
flow.
यूज किया था. इनफैक्ट जंप कर के कोरस में यूज किया था.
मैं मेरे पंटर स्टूडियो में रहते हैं दिन रात काम करे जमकर बीट पे है फ्लैम बॉय खड़े नहीं रहने का चल छोड़े जमकर.
उस गाने का प्रोड्यूसर कौन है गेस कर सकते हो? Yes, you're right, Flamboy. तो कृष्णा twists the lyrics and says कि वो और उनके दोस्त Emiway को पूरा दिन हंटर से मारते हैं.
पीठ पर है फ्लैम बॉय खड़े नहीं रहने का चल छोटे जमकर आके मेरे लंड पर.
Now here Krishna completes the hook in his own style. The original hook ends with चल छोटे जंप कर, but Krishna extends it a little bit with चल छोटे जंप कर आके मेरे L पर.
बंद कर छोटे नाटक कम कर लूंगा तेरी तो होगा तू आउट ऑफ संपर्क.
Now इस बार में out of संपर्क यूज हुआ. Out of संपर्क basically means out of reach, and it could also be a reference to how Emiway's reach has seen a downward graph. And also out of संपर्क is an Emiway Bunty song produced by, yes you're right, the
Oh,
man
shit.
Flamboy. Do we see a pattern here? Moving on.
Freaking
हल्की टोन में
hell.
मेरी ही लाइनें बोल के इसे लगा ये कोल्ड है नकलची होते बंदर.
Emiway used a lot of Krishna's
This-
lyrics and Krishna's flow to mock him in his track Chusamba.
मैं तो कभी डरा नहीं बीच से लौड़े डरा देंगे फाड़ूंगा बीच से.
Krishna says कि Emiway को लगा कि ऐसा करने से he's insulting Krishna in a very nice way. Rather, he looked like a monkey because monkeys have this tendency of copying. Also, Divine's diss track to Emiway was called Chabi Wala Bandar, so it could be a callback to that as well.
मरे पड़े जो करे आके यहाँ रंबल.
Royal Rumble was Emiway's track. Also, जब animals आवाज निकालते हैं, अपनी भारी भरकम आवाज निकालते हैं, उसको रंबल बोला जाता है. तो इस बार का मतलब है कि आज से पहले कृष्णा के सामने जिसने भी आवाज उठाई है वो अभी मरे पड़े हैं. कृष्णा के सामने आवाज उठाने वाला अभी तक जिंदा नहीं है.
सिल्वर बैक में रैप भले या जंगल.
कृष्णा calls himself a silverback,
Silverback,
मतलब
the
a gorilla,
gorilla.
जो कि काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग जानवर होता है. कृष्णा ने इससे पहले एमिवे को बंदर बोला था लास्ट बार में, एंड देन
Nice.
हियर ही इज एड्रेसिंग हिमसेल्फ एज अ गोरिल्ला, जो कि एक बहुत ही ज्यादा मच स्ट्रॉन्गर
Strongest.
स्पीशी है एज कंपेयर टू अ बंदर. ही सेज कि अगर रैप सीन जंगल है तो कृष्णा डोमिनेट्स दैट बाय बीइंग अ सिल्वरबैक. ही इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट.
हिलाता रहे बेटा ओढ़ के तू कंबल, स्किन लाइट माइंड से मैं टाकूं चंबल.
हिलाता रहे ओढ़ के तू कंबल, सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी, कीप मास्टरबेटिंग. स्किन लाइट मतलब कृष्णा का जो स्किन कॉम्प्लेक्शन है वो गोरा है. कृष्णा गोरे हैं पर उनका माइंड डार्क है, यानी उनका माइंड शैतानी है थोड़ा. ऑल्सो डार्क हूँ इज अ वर्ड प्ले ऑन डाकू, और इंडिया में चंबल नाम का एक एरिया है, वहां पे डाकू बहुत ज्यादा पॉपुलर है.
Very nice.
दैट प्लेस इज नोन टू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ डाकूज इन एंड अराउंड.
रैप पे आता तो पढ़ते रैप पढ़े तुझे, हाँ नो फैक्ट जब अटैक करे मुझे.
सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी. एमिवे के लास्ट डिस में कोई भी फैक्ट्स नहीं थे, इट वाज जस्ट प्योर इंसल्ट्स.
8 साल हो गए रैप करे तुझे, अभी भी कोई मानता नहीं रैप करे तुझे, हाँ.
हियर कृष्णा सेज कि 8 साल तक रैप करने के बाद भी nobody considers Emiway as a rapper, and a lot of people say कि Emiway is more of a YouTuber than an artist. So this is a taunt at that.
Oh.
कोई भी सुनेगा अब तेरा ये टेस्ट तो लगेगा desperate for dollar का टिक.
चुसम्बा में there were
That's
a
true.
lot of dick references, जिसके बारे में हम पहले बात कर चुके हैं. सो कृष्णा बोलते हैं कि जो भी चुसम्बा सुनेगा उनको ऐसा लगेगा कि Emiway is really interested and obsessed with Krishna's dick, because उन्होंने कृष्णा के dick के बारे में बहुत ज्यादा जिक्र किया है.
ये गधे की झूठ बोल रहा पुण्य धूप, तो कृष्णा फिर लाया या सोलर इक्लिप्स.
Emiway in his last diss called himself धूप. So Krishna says कि उनका रैप यहाँ पे सोलर एक्लिप्स लेकर आएगा. सोलर एक्लिप्स के टाइम पे बेसिकली सन छुप जाता है एंड धूप नहीं आती. Also, very importantly, in Mahabharata, Jayadratha was looking to hide till the sunset, but Lord Krishna के solar eclipse की वजह से he thought कि sunset already हो चुका है and he came out, resulting in him getting killed by Arjun.
Nice.
थोड़ी लंबी स्टोरी है, अगर टाइम
I
मिले तो
can't.
गूगल पे पढ़ लेना.
This is
विस्तार
so
में अगर
good.
आपको जानने में इंटरेस्ट है तो. Moving on.
अब बना तू पहाड़ या घाटी है दोस्त.
मैं पहाड़ हूँ reference was used by Emiway in this track named क्यों जाने दे.
चढ़ना मुश्किल है मुझ पे हाँ जैसे एवरेस्ट का पहाड़ हूँ मैं.
एंड घाटी पहाड़ को काट के इरोजन के थ्रू बनती है. ऑल्सो Emiway इज फ्रॉम एंटॉप हिल पहाड़ी. कृष्णा इज फ्रॉम कश्मीर वैली घाटी. समझे?
That I got.
ये अनपढ़ गवार छनिया जन्नाल से आगे ना इनकी तो बढ़ती है सोच.
Pretty simple bar. MEV used a lot of these slurs in his track and Krishna says कि MEV की सोच वहीं तक है, यहाँ ये slurs use करने तक ही MEV की सोच है.
Yeah.
घाव तू सिला ले ले bandage backstage if I get son Mike Jackson rampage.
Krishna addresses MEV as his beta and says कि अगर वो अपने बेटे से कभी backstage में मिले तो he might jack his son, मतलब वो अपने बेटे को रॉब करेंगे and then he ends the bar with rampage. Jackson Rampage is an MMA fighter. So Jack son यानी रॉब सन एंड जैक्सन द नेम.
दुकाई होगी छोटे लेंगे तेरी चैन से तेरा ओनली फैन पेज होगा ओनली फैंस पे.
ओनली फैंस इज अ वेबसाइट जहां पे आप पैसे देकर अपने फेवरेट क्रिएटर को सब्सक्राइब करते हो एंड मोस्टली द वेबसाइट रिवॉल्व्स अराउंड एंड इज नोन फॉर अडल्ट लाइव स्ट्रीम. समझ रहे हो? तो कृष्णा सेज कि बाय द एंड ऑफ दिस बीफ एमीवेज ओनली फैन बेस विल बी ऑन ओनली फैंस.
Femi whip, pussy whip, that's a fact done. Your bitch probably fuck you with a strap on.
Pussy whipped is a guy who likes being dominated by women in bed. Krishna says कि MEV is like that. MEV is the submissive one in the relationship. Strap on is nakli dick, nakli dildo that girls use to fuck their submissive male partners. Krishna says that MEV gets fucked by his partner and his partner obviously wears a strap on.
All I need is one verse to put you in a hearse and I don't even have to put my cap on.
Krishna will need one verse to kill MEV is what he is trying to say here. And Krishna says कि उन्हें अपनी beef cap पहनने की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. Now if you don't know कि beef cap की history क्या है, तो basically this cap has a reputation, a very popular reputation amongst the hip hop audience. People believe कि Krishna enters the brutal mode when he wears that cap. He wore that cap in Seedha Makeover and he wore that cap in Maharan. तो Krishna says that इस beef में उन्हें MEV को हराने के लिए टोपी पहनने की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. Basically is showing कि it is a cake walk for him.
कलमकार को बना बैठा मैं डेथ रो.
Death Row Records काफी infamous hip hop label था. Suge Knight, the CEO of label, was considered very dangerous. There are stories of him hanging Vanilla Ice off the balcony. Eazy-E Biggie को मारने की conspiracy theories में भी उनका नाम आता है. Krishna says कि कलमकार has now become as dangerous as Death Row because of him.
इस बारी इसकी मौत टल ना पाए जैसे जेथरो.
This time Krishna will not wait before killing MEV. मौत नहीं टलेगी. Also, Jethro here means Jethro Tull, the rock band. मौत टल, Jethro Tull, the band.
Yeah.
टलना का मतलब होता है to get
Nicely done.
delayed.
Very.
Ending the silence with violence of violence.
Ending the silence. Now Krishna has replied after 45 days. So he's ending his silence with violence of violence. Now in his last diss track Ma Kasam, Krishna compared himself to the musician Bach.
You ain't Beethoven but I'm meant to be Bach. You elementary, I'm dropping penitentiary bars.
And Bach used to play violin. But Krishna in music would play violin, the instrument of violence. Yani hinsa. Hinsa wali dhun is what MEV is calling this track.
Now watch a dead rapper get fucked, no necro.
Being a necrophile means a person who likes having sex with dead body. Krishna calls MEV a dead rapper because his reach has gone down, so that makes him dead rapper. And Krishna says that he's going to fuck that dead rapper. But he's not a necrophile because वो असलियत में नहीं मरे हुए हैं. He means statistically dead rapper.
कुल्फा क्या करेगी कुल्फी है खुद. बंटी तो लगता है बुद्धि से दुष्ट.
Again, a regular you are gay bar. Let's move on.
ऑटोमेटिक था ब्रश ऑटोमेटिक अब टांगे जब दिखता है डॉलर तो खुलती है खुद.
Automatic Brush is a reference from MEV's track सीधा Takeover, जिसमें उन्होंने अपनी ऑटोमेटिक गाड़ी और ऑटोमेटिक ब्रश का जिक्र किया था.
ऑटोमेटिक मेरी गाड़ी, ऑटोमेटिक मेरा ब्रश.
कृष्णा सेज कि पहले ब्रश ऑटोमेटिक था, अब MEV की टांगे ऑटोमेटिक है बिकॉज वो जब भी कृष्णा को देखते हैं तो ऑटोमेटिकली खुलने लग जाती है, insinuating the fact that MEV likes getting fucked by Krishna. Very simple but a very creative way to say that.
मेरा गाना नहीं चला था तेरे नाम से, चला मेरा गाना तेरी बदनामी से.
MEV ने लास्ट टाइम बोला था कि कृष्णा became popular because उन्होंने MEV का नाम यूज किया. कृष्णा here gives a counter by saying that he became popular not because he used MEV's name. He became popular because MEV was being defamed and people liked seeing that happen. So that's pretty much it for the breakdown and the final score is... Now overall if you ask me कि मुझे ये track कैसा लगा, I would say okayish as compared to Krishna's previous diss tracks. It is obviously nowhere close to, let's say, an untitled Makasam or Maharani. However, if I have to compare it to Chusamba, right now, Krishna seems far ahead in this beef.
It's not a contest.
What are your opinions? Make sure you drop down in the comments below. अगर आपको इस type का content अच्छा लगता है तो make sure you subscribe to this channel. अगर आप
Okay, bus. So this is, I
Are you
remember.
stopping?
Stop. I rewatched Sida Takeover Makeover reaction in the last couple of days just to see why did I get so much hate? Did I say it was just like we were just very matter of fact, Maddie, and we were like, this is not a contest at all, between equals. It's just that Krishna wins that round hands down, and the same can be said today as well. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a contest at all. AC's going. Okay, wait.
It's
Rifa,
not.
Let me
Now thinking back, yeah.
Let me
Read
go
this
go
thing.
over the bars that Rohan missed. He's just texted them to me. So he says, sugar and maar ni khare. Sugar is sweet, khare is salty. Oh.
Nice.
Then shots kara down, pehla round, cocktails, alcohol reference. Shots kara down, pehla round, cocktails, alcohol reference. Okay, those are shots and then the cocktails. Okay, then necrophilia, necro, rapper is a rapper, and violence of violence is his song. By the way, it's not, a lot of people do, it's not violence. Okay, violence of violence is necro's song. Crazy. And then the backup line was a retort to Chusamba. He said, I needed backup. So these are the bars that Rohan missed.
The additional ones. Very
The
nice.
additional ones, now you guys have heard them all. Okay, very
But
nice.
listen,
Thanks,
well
Rohan.
done, Rohan.
I know.
And well done. Like that's very detailed research work for someone to catch on and then to actually lay it out so nicely where one can listen to it, hear it, and be like, wow, like, the multiple meanings. Very nicely done.
It's a child's play now for Rohan, but like he did it in one day. So props.
Wow.
You know?
Well done. Very nice. Very nice.
So yay. Okay, now we got a lot of stuff. I want to actually listen to Lil Bunty again. Just go. Okay, but one sec. Whatever he didn't cover now, let's talk about that. There's a lot of things I was remembering as we were watching Rohan's video. One, the visual aspects of it. So though he's by a poolside, he's in that Cuban shirt, which I love. I think I said it already. The whole like thing. By the way, when did sandals with socks become a thing again? I thought we were done.
It's been a while.
No,
it's been a while and they're back in the zone. I just don't get them.
I cannot.
Men around me are wearing it and I'm just like,
why is it back? Why is it back? It should have just stayed dead.
Well, I asked a friend of mine why he thought it was a good thing. And his answer was because it's like, you're comfortable, but yet like you're not going to a meeting or anything. So even if you're going to like, you're comfortable but yet you're slightly formally dressed. And I'm like, ye kya baat hui? So it's I don't know. It's just silly.
Just don't wear the socks.
Good. But I've got to say,
I
the
know
more you get used to it, like it looks good.
it's I don't know. The overall look was fine, but I just don't get that trend. Anyway, so moving on, that whole thing, and even where he was, the whole resort-ish, I don't know how they found this location, but it really reminded me of Pablo Escobar's house in Narcos. Like it was a very, that open open house. Nahin, uska main house, na, jahan pe hippo tha and pool tha and all that. So that was very like starkly evident. And then, he's sitting and he's lighting a cigar and he's smoking in this big armrest wala chair and all. So that's very Godfather feels for me. And again, it's very like saying,
also Pablo Escobar feels.
Same, exactly. Like the Don, like the head. So that whole continuation in that sense is happening in the story he's trying to tell in this visually. And then there was something else.
I also liked how Emiway was doing chakkar outside the pool. And he had found a pool in which he could go inside and stand. So it's like, tum bahari ghumte rahoge, main jagah yahan hai. Like, I also looked at it like that. It's just funny. What are you saying? What about the eye? Yeah.
Also, like, because when Krishna does the saap wala, wo jo kahani hai, उसमें वो lake water से आता है और वो snake के head पे dance अपनी flute play करते हुए निकलते हैं, right?
Correct.
So he's standing in the middle of the water and he's doing this, and he refers to Emiway as a snake. So maybe we're overthinking it, but it looks like that.
But it's going well with it.
It's going really well.
It's going well. Yeah.
You never know. So okay, so it could be that. It could be that he's standing in the water and he's playing his flute like he's singing his song. That, and then the whole, that ninja thing, the ninja outfit. I don't know what it's called. Is it called something? Is it a hip hop thing? So he's got, so it's like, I don't know, stealth mode is happening. I don't know. Does that mean anything, guys? I don't know. Tell us. So that, and then 1 second, there was something else about the video. No, I think these
the
are the
whole
main
video had a
things.
lot of finesse, but I must say, like,
The snake
it was
cap.
very,
There was a snake cap
everything
involved.
was,
So he didn't put on his beef cap, but he had that snake cap, which is
correct.
like, just like easy level. Okay, anyway, continue. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying that the whole video was very like, from the whole quality perspective, it had a lot of finesse. You know, you looked at it and you go, wow, okay, that's looking good. Like there's something like, so even on that level, it was almost like, this is how you create a video, even shooting wise, like how
Set the
professional
mood.
it needs to look. Yeah.
And you
so
set
that
the
was-
mood and you get subtle messaging across through the visuals of it, right? And also it was very starkly evident that he's solo in this. He doesn't need the backup. So that's again a response to his backup line from MMA song in the actual like literal sense, So okay, then I'm just trying to see, and then okay, can I just say, is there anything I didn't like about this track? Yes, the references to the girlfriend. I don't like lines like that. I've never liked them. I don't like them when other rappers do it either. So I think, and like, I feel like I should say it because I like it when men keep the fight between themselves and they just, like man to man. Because you know what happens, and I because my eyes and ears are open, I see everything online. Then the kids who watch and who admire and look up to, then they take those lines and they start making memes and stuff, and it's not like, that's not cool, because then that ends up, even if that was not meant in that way by the artist himself, because this is generally trash talk 101, like and we get it, like this is the genre when guys trash talk amongst themselves. It's you go, your mom or your girlfriend or whatever. We know the first things that come out. So even if you dismiss this in a diss track as trash talk between guys, it's the repercussions that happen offline and online that are just a little distasteful. So I'm just saying this for whoever makes memes and all, and takes those lines and uses them to poke someone. Don't do that. That's not cool. That's unnecessary. So I think that
like in all the way in the whole, I get it. I get that being gay is used as they're using that to get back at each other. But but as it's not a gali, it is someone's sexual preference. तो ये बहुत time से ये चीज इसकी बात हो रही है और सब अब awareness में है. आप किसी की preference लेके उसको गाली में convert कर रहे हो, implying what? So it's something that one needs to just pause for 1 second, and while one is enjoying the song, while one is going through with it, just take a pause and also consider कि हम क्या सुन रहे हैं.
Like, as audiences, you guys need to, just take the things, don't take everything as this works because it's been said in a song, by someone I admire. Don't take it like that. Question things yourself, and because like there are certain, okay, now this is like kind of going deeper into it, but there are like very basic values that everyone I think is given growing up, like respect women, respect elders, respect everyone, like so let's not throw those down the drain because we heard a line in a song. That's all we're saying. That's basically it. And there's
हो गई तसल्ली, react कर दिया, कब आएगा reaction, there, are you happy now?
I just can't, man. This is so, like my thought now is ki this is not even the max brutality. So
it isn't.
It isn't, no. Like there were lines that of course you and I will be like, but then we've heard Amarani and that was my question to people who I trust. I'm like, is this like worse in that sense as, or than Maharani or Makasa, because I've covered those and I understand the level of brutality, or how hard you're going to hit your opponent. So I was told, no, it's not. It's less brutal than those, and it's fine and all of that. But still, obviously, we don't know where this is going to go now. We really don't know.
And also, if one has to just compare that, why today you're choosing to pick this track and react to it, it is also with respect to the scene. When you had started out, you were beginning to be a part of the scene. Today, there is a very distinct space that you hold in the scene now, right? Like, or it is beginning to. So in that respect, also, it's very important to address something that is such a strong talking point within the scene. So I think it matters. I think that's another reason why slowly this is where exceptions happen, where, you know, you break your own rule and you step up, basically.
My own rule.
Yeah.
I think, you know, there's another, actually, while you were saying that, I remembered an interesting thing. Because I was getting a lot of DMs throughout the last 4-5 days. Somebody actually messaged me saying, I don't think Dollar should have replied. I don't think Krishna should have
Interesting
replied.
perspective.
Interesting perspective from the point of view कि ये इतना अच्छा diss नहीं था MUA का कि, you know, that Dollar should bother replying. But my immediate response to this person was, are you kidding? He has to reply, because being a man of your word means something in the world today. You know, if you're gonna, obviously he's not gonna reply to everyone because everyone's been dissing him. He's gonna reply to the person he's actually had a personal beef with or have this thing. And if you've said it in enough number of your tracks and in enough subs and things before, then you know, like, there are still, like, if you don't
Duty banti hai phir.
yeah, because like if your word doesn't mean something to you, it's not going to mean anything to anyone, you know. And there are still so you gotta do it.
Well, just from a personal perspective, I'm really glad Krishna replied, because after listening to that track, I was feeling uneasy, not just because of the galis used, but because of the implications. You know, it was just a very demeaning kind of a thing. Yeah. So uske baad aise, you know, then I'm really happy that Krishna responded in the way he did, because it kind of like, it felt equalized. The level had been equalized. So
and can I also now tell you, because by the way, Shruti doesn't see what's happening online a lot. She's like in her own world.
No, not at all.
You are, so this is how I am with Netflix. I don't know what's happening online. So let me fill you in. There's a lot of trolling that Krishna is doing, which is really funny, because like apparently everywhere is in Qatar, and so Krishna posted some story saying I'm in Qatar, but that, like, I saw that and I was like, this is outside Dubai Mall, this is not Qatar. So it was like, okay, what is happening?
Dubai ghum rahe ho.
It's just masti that's happening. And
but is he actually there, or is it just trolling?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like, but some person from MAV's team is in Qatar with him, and he's been posting stories, putting exact location and saying, what is, you know, don't tag just Doha, tag exact hotel or whatever your location is, tag it, I'm going to come and meet you alone. And I'm seeing all this online and I'm just like, what is this? Like, what are you going to do?
If Krishna's not actually there, he should just tag. Every day he should tag like a new place. Pahunchne do usko. Matlab like
a new restaurant. And that guy lands up there. So funny.
I'm sure that's what's going on. Like, I will not be surprised.
Yeah. Guys send Krishna like 5 different restaurants and hotels in Doha and let him tag all.
No, to make it legit.
To make it. I was just laughing and I was like, but what will he do? It's Qatar. Wahan pe aap kuch, you know, like you do one chew also in the hotel and security will throw you out, and like before you can say Bunty, they will throw you out. You will be outside. You know, so like don't mess around in places that are not even your hood. And all this like story giving threats, and my only concern is there should not be any like actual fighting,
actual violence. Yeah,
because that death row line just like scared me a bit, like, you know. That's all that stuff is not a joke, as long as you're keeping it to the music, and there's no actual.
And in the past we've heard
happening.
in the past we've heard of incidents happening with like gunshots and stuff, which is like, one doesn't need to resort to that.
Remember in his song, he was like, he got stabbed or something, and I was just like, I hope people have security.
Even in the and in the Punjabi community, in the songs we've heard of like incidents. Something a couple of months back had become like a huge deal. Cool. So I don't think it's not required. The artists are taking care of it by themselves by giving back answers within that. Let's stick to that. Fans shouldn't take it in real time and go and physically start doing anything about it. It's not required.
Forget
trust
fans,
trust your artists to take care of it.
People within the labels who are like, I mean, everybody calm the hell down. This is the sport. This is what it is. You know, you don't need to like now start calling people to like physical on ground locations. What are you going to do? I don't understand. WWE hoga like.
Haan, tu aake mil. That's all I can imagine. One of my cousins used to do it when he was really tiny. He was like 3 saal ka. And he was like, haan, tu aake mil, nukkad pe. It used to be hilarious. Yahi hoga. Koi bhi aisa baat karte hai na, wo yahi hota hai.
Hilarious.
It's childish.
Okay,
Yeah.
so wrap up. Let's wrap up, man. This has gone on for so long. How long have we been recording? I
Wrap
knew
up
it would be
on
long.
stretch karo, bahar nilo. Okay, then it was lovely.
No pun
It was
intended
fantastic.
on the wrap
Yes.
up. But no, there was this. Isko baar nahi aa rahe. It was right there. How could he not use it? You know, it was right there. That's what I'm saying. You know, someone who likes wordplay
Yeah.
and bad jokes. It was right there. Okay. Anything? Tell me your like closing thoughts.
No closing thoughts. All thoughts have been, like I said, it's an equalizer. Like now I feel, I've been saying it from the first word that I uttered, the moment I saw it. I feel avenged. I feel normal to go ahead, live my life normally. And I'm not affected in such a way that I'm like, oh my God, like, ye kaise bolti ho? I'm like, what is this going on? So I'm fine now. And I think that's what's required. Sit
I
here,
envy you.
enjoy the music.
I envy
Acha,
you.
are you feeling like,
No, I envy you because I heard Chusamba before that you know how much time I spent
right.
feeling like,
Oh, thank
what-
God. Thank God I did not hear it earlier, because if I would have been like 2 din tak, I think mujhe gussa aa raha tha, so I would not have. Right now, at least I feel like, हाँ ठीक है,
And
मतलब so
guys,
what? जो said,
yeah,
हाँ.
but you know, like I know it's probably coming across as we hate some art. We don't hate any artist. If you've been on this channel long enough, you know that we are just giving honest opinions. It's just that that track was lazy and it's not fitting for someone who claims to be at a certain level to drop a track like that. And then, you know, it's actually, it feels like you're not taking the audiences seriously enough. You're not taking our understanding of the genre seriously enough, or, you know, you're just, it's lazy.
And
So-
maybe we and I just to add a subtext to that, when you're saying we don't get it, we honestly, literally, Jyoti and Shruti might not get it, but there are enough and more audience out there who've been following the genre and who get it, you know, who get it much more. So yeah, just to clarify that point.
Yeah, and don't come with things like, you know, he doesn't do references and metaphors, and no. I've already said what I needed to say about that argument, because you can't master just one aspect of the game before you start calling yourselves a veteran or a, you know, number one and all those numbers. Okay, chalo. I like that kambal wala line and chambal, and like, okay, there's this, you know, if I go through the lyrics offline or now again, for example, I would just there's a lot I would have to I would probably have to comment on, because there's so much intelligence packed in here. It's just, it's 1-0 to Krishna. That's it. That's the wrap up. That's the final word. Nothing else to say. So let's see what comes now from MUA's side, if at all. He's been shooting videos in Qatar and we don't know if they're diss tracks or not.
But do you secretly hope that he will? Like,
Of
what's your
course I
secret
do.
action?
Right?
You know,
Listen, I'm no better than the average listener. Like I have now made peace with the fact.
Actually, I want a response only so that again, then another intelligent response will come. So it's more like, you know, I'm not waiting so much for the response from MUA. It's more that whatever he answers back, then what will
you
happen?
never know. He could surprise us. He probably kept like
He
his
totally
best
could.
stuff
I hope he does.
for round 2.
You know, Maharani wala jo wo pura hua tha, that time it had happened. If you remember, Mufad, we had first one that we heard, we were like, okay. I think the 3rd or the 5th track, like when he came back, it was actually a really good track. And we were like, if this is how he'd been, exactly, that if this is how he'd been doing this from the start, it would have been crazy. So it does help. It helps bring out the, you know, the higher side of you, which wants to put their A game out. So actually, you're right. We never know. Like, you know, maybe your response to this would be that.
Hopefully,
So, yeah.
One can only hope, because that's when it actually gets interesting. Right now, it feels like it's a no contest zone, you know.
Correct. Yeah.
So the silver backline comes to mind. Anyway, chalo, I think we will end here.
Yeah.
Kahani aage jayegi ya nahi, nobody knows. And this was fun. That's all I'll have to say. Again, shout out to Rohan. Thanks for your hard work and your dedication to the craft as well.
Yes.
And for ghost collabing with me with the extra bars. Okay, you guys, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate. We will get a lot of hate for this.
We're ready.
We're ready. It's all good. Let's just, we're just being honest here, and it's just our opinion. So chalo, take care of yourselves and live long and prosper.
Bye.